Are you there? Can you see me? Welcome to South Deerfield, Massachusetts, home of the Yankee Candle Village flagship store, and we are quickly approaching the end of the semi-annual sale for the winter. And what better place to be than the Yankee Candle Village for this semi-annual sale? Not only do they have the biggest selection and the biggest sales, but Yankee Candle Village also carries other companies' products, so they are also on sale. So you could spend the whole day shopping, you can empty out your wallet really fast. And as I was doing that today, I realized I've never done a haul before. I've never actually gone shopping, purchased things, and then showed you what I've purchased. Showed you what I thought would be a good steal, a good bargain. You know, some fragrances that I lean towards. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna start off with the accessories, and then we'll go over some of the candles that I'll be taking home with me today. So actually, a lot of people, a lot of you recommended that I pick one of these up. This is a Fractal Glass jar holder, hurricane, tumbler, whatever you want to call it. This holds an entire Yankee candle, and what's really good about this is transparent. You know, you're gonna see the label through the jar, but the best thing about this is look at how, can you see that? How thick that glass is? That's some serious business right there. It's very heavy. Why is it important? That's gonna hold in the heat. So if you have a fan on, if you have your AC on, if you have a breeze going on, you have a window open, whatever it may be, this glass is gonna be your best bet to protect and contain the heat on your candle. So you will have perfectly melted wax pools every single time. This was worth 10 times its value. If you can still find one of these, make sure you put one in your collection. I guarantee you'll get a lot of use out of it. The spring preview for 2018 has been released as of December 26th, but today is January 16th. They put out the house warmer jars. So not just in a tumbler form, but actually in the house warmer format on the shelves. So I figured I needed to buy something for one of the spring candles, and look at this amazing jar holder. However, they do take up a lot of space, so you have to choose wisely. But I love how there's this mixture of very vibrant lilac or magenta mixed with a periwinkle purple, and it's got that cracked glass. And the light just shimmers off this thing. Look at the light, how it just shimmers off it. It's amazing. We're going to put in Sweet Nothings. If you've seen my evaluation on this candle, you know that I enjoyed it. I had some questions about the name, Sweet Nothings, but look at that color. Very complimentary for this accessory. You pop that in there, and bam, you got a whole evening of Sweet Nothings. I'm gonna be very happy with this purchase. Just a little tip, whenever I buy one of these, I go to the pet store. Yes, the pet store. And I buy fish tank pebbles. Now you can go to Target and buy expensive pebbles for vases and stuff like that, PEAR 1, but they're gonna charge you a fortune. If you go to the pet store, you can find the pebbles for fish tanks, and what you'll do is just put a small layer on the bottom of the jar. This will allow you to take the house warmer and put it inside and rest it right on those pebbles, settling it nicely so it's not tipping to one side or tipping to the other. You see what I mean? Just a little tip. So I'm always asked, what are my favorite fragrances? Well, last year, one of my favorite, the one that I was anticipating the most and the one I was just so thoroughly happy with was Sicilian Lemon. But I didn't have a good accessory to display that candle. Until today, I found this. But we see, again, we have the crackled glass with these yellow leaves and some golden leaves as well. Look at that yellow. That's a canary yellow if I ever saw one. You pop this guy right in there, and look at that. You can still see the label. We get the accent of the yellow and the gold, and if you put it in the light, you get that sparkle from the crackled glass. Now, what is the cost? Well, for the candles, today they're having a sale for 4 candles, large jars, for $44. Fantastic. However, this guy right here is gonna be $24.99, 50% off, $12.50. Yes, I can do that. So once we're through the winter, and as we see the spring and summer approach, you know you're gonna be breaking out those nautical, maritime, sea-themed candles. And this I found just hanging out. There was only a few of them. I'm gonna try to get you a good look at it. There's a deep dark purple with the seafoam green, and it kind of turns this light shade of yellow right on the top. What's great about this is this would fit nearly any sea beach candle that you own. And for the price, $20, 50% off. Yeah. So once again, we have one of these vase type jar holders. I love these, and it does come in a bigger size like the purple one. And if you take a close look, we have a completely dark steel chrome color. And as we get closer and closer to the top, it becomes perfectly clear glass with this diamond pattern, almost like a pineapple-like hospitality pattern on the glass. So I have one more accessory, and this one is outrageous. If you watched one of my live videos while I was here, you probably saw it. And this accessory is so outrageous that there's no way I was gonna leave it here. I have to take it home. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. And I actually have it on its own separate table because it's so big. Actually, it's right here on a chair. I thought it was over there. Any of you guys watched Barney the Dinosaur? I didn't. That was a little bit after my time. But if Barney the Dinosaur was going to lay an egg, I would imagine it would look similar to this. What in God's name is happening here? We have a very, very thin coating of paint. Everything is frosted. See, I'm gonna turn my flashlight on in the phone, and look at that. Imagine that in a darkened room in your living space. It's gonna give you that super amber, yellow, golden hue all across your walls. This is gonna be $34.99, and guess what? Also 50% off. Look, you can even see like the texture of the egg. Very interesting. Melt cups of all of the exclusive Village candles. They also come in the replaceable scent plugs as well. If you want to see my reviews on Edelweiss, New England Maple, and New England Blueberry, make sure you go back in the back catalog, check it out. I'll also throw the links in the description below. These are some pretty amazing candles, and now is a great time to sample them. Look at this one, crisp apple strudel. No soy wax in there. There's paraffin in this tumbler, which tells us that this is on the older side, and I wasn't surprised to flip this over and find out that this is a 2011 pour. What is it doing here? Where did it come from? I swear they must go into the warehouse, the bowels of the Yankee Candle warehouse, and find these amazing relics and put them on the shelves. So what an amazing find. This still smells amazing, and the fact that it is paraffin wax, I enjoy that. A perfectly fine candle that was on the shelf and initially released in 2011. Apple crisp strudel. And how about you Halloween lovers out there? Remember Halloween when we were talking about all of the new candles and what was gonna come out and what format? Remember all that hype? Well, it's kind of gut-wrenching now to see all of the Halloween candles here in abundance on sale, but not just on sale, but for 75% off. That's right, you can walk away with this candle right here, which was the Sweet Seduction Forbidden Apple Swirl Candle for $6 and change. That is crazy. And not just that, we have the Witch's Brew, the medium house warmer jar. We have that jack-o'-lantern aluminum lid. If I had to guess, if I had to make a prediction, that we're gonna see the end of Witch's Brew or the Halloween candles in the paraffin wax form, these medium-sized jars, I think they're slowly being phased out. And I'm saying so because of the past couple of years. Black Magic was released in a tumbler with a soy wax blend, and this year Witch's Brew, Forbidden Apple, and Haunted Hollow, same thing, tumbler, soy wax blend. I think they're just gently trying to segue out of these medium-sized jars. I could be completely wrong, but if I am right, this might be somewhat collectible, or at least valuable to those who love Yankee Candle Halloween. Yankee Candle is starting to put their fragrances in alternative vessels. I see this being a trend that's going to continue to happen. I love Autumn in the Park. I love that fragrance. The only thing is, I really liked the label of Autumn in the Park, and we don't get that. This was released in 2015 and then re-released this year as an online exclusive, but here at the Village, all online exclusives are sold in-house. Winter Garden, you know, bright white paraffin wax. Aromatically, this delivers on a lot of associations that we have, of course, with winter. Cedar and pine, juniper berry, but definitely a little bit of eucalyptus in there, some green notes, herbaceous notes, sage and green grassy notes, a lot of alpine aromatics here. Straight up cane sugar smell. This smells like if you tasted it and went like that, it would be sweet. Big time citrus, lemon, lime. If you have an opportunity to pick this one up, give it a sniff, or to purchase it, you have my full recommendation. So while I was walking around Yankee Candle, I saw many different fragrances that I said, wow, you know, I haven't smelled that in a while. And one of those was Flowers in the Sun. This is not super aggressive on the florals. Not at all. You get that hint of dandelion milk, green grassy springtime smells, but what's dominating this candle is the super bright tart citrus lemon, like someone just sliced the lemon and squirted it right into your face. When I smell this, I can't help but think about like a lemon dessert. There's that label, but again, Yankee Candle Village. We have options, folks. We have options. Can you see that? We have both the new label, which is going to be a 2017 pour, and then we have the older label, a US label, 2015. So let's see if there's any variances, if there's a diminishing of the aromatics. I'm gonna do a little side-by-side sniff test. I would say the intensity is almost spot on. However, I am smelling a little bit more of the paraffin wax. You know, think about it. This jar has been closed I'm probably the first person to open this jar in a couple years, and I am smelling a little bit of the waxy wax and maybe even the plastic from this airtight seal. The same profile. I think a burn test would have to really determine whether or not there's any variances. Which one will I be taking home? Take a guess. Guess and put your guess into the comments section below. This one being Meadow Showers. I'm taking this home today to hold on to it and review for a St. Patrick's Day special. And by popular request, Grapevine and Oak. This is a candle I've never spoken about on the Candle Enthusiast, and because I have a little bit of a wine background, a lot of you thought that I might have an interesting take on this candle. Let's have a sniff of this. Now, oak is in reference to, of course, the barrel that the wine is going to be fermented in and or aged in. If you take a look at those grapes there, they're massively plump. Those are some massive grapes. Chardonnay grapes are never gonna look like that. They're gonna be tiny, tiny, tiny. These grapes are not for winemaking. These are most likely Thompson seedless grapes, the grapes that you're gonna buy in the grocery store. Let's for a second assume that that's Sauvignon Blanc on the label. Now, old school, old-fashioned Sauvignon Blanc is light, it's clean, it's crisp, it has citrus notes, it has a lot of minerality to it. But New World, more contemporary styled Sauvignon Blanc is much, much more of the brighter tropical fruits and green grassy notes. And specifically green bell pepper. I'm not kidding. If you don't believe me, go out and smell for yourself. Go out and pick any one of the super popular New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs. You'll smell things like green bell pepper and grapefruit. When I'm in a blind tasting situation and I'm trying to determine which wine I have in what glass, if I'm trying to determine if a glass is Sauvignon Blanc, I immediately look for that green bell pepper, that grapefruit, and that freshly cut green grass. And that is what's happening inside of this candle. There's certainly a wood base, that cedar comes through. I don't smell any influence of oak. I could be completely wrong. Does this smell like a glass of white wine? No, but nor does it say that that's what it's supposed to be. To me, this has the components, the aromas, the elements that we would find in a New World Sauvignon Blanc, but it doesn't necessarily smell like the wine itself. So from an authenticity standpoint, I don't think it's really there, but from a conceptual standpoint and just the basic execution of this candle, excellent, fantastic for me. This is super bright and refreshing, contrasted with those green notes, which makes New World Sauvignon Blanc so delicious and tasty. These are the other candles that I'm going to be taking home. April Showers. To me, this is really kind of a spot-on execution. Yes, there's lemon, but you're focusing more on the vegetation, the green, the chlorophyll, the leafage. Without getting into it in depth, is like having your head submerged in a Meyer lemon tree and you're surrounded by wildflowers all beneath your feet. A returning favorite that surprisingly is not in a returning favorites label. Cinnamon Vanilla. This might have, I've heard rumors that this might have been specifically released for the semi-annual sale, but either way, it is a returning favorite. I think this disappeared, now don't quote me, but I think it disappeared about 4 years ago. It was retired. Cinnamon Vanilla. I have to be playful about this. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Warmish milk smell with the remnants of freshly grated cinnamon. Again, ginger and a little bit of nutmeg and sugar. More like brown sugar or maybe even like caramel. And last but not least, look at this one, Autumn Bouquet. When I smelled it, I'm like, wow, this is a completely different approach to something like Autumn Wreath. And I think a lot of folks will really like this. Freshly fallen foliage from the forest floor, but it smells a little bit like Dad and Grandpa too. You get a little bit of that fading cologne, that flannel shirt from the closet. So for me, that's it. And if you're thinking to yourself, wow, Shane, nobody has bothered you while you've been sitting here talking about candles. That's because there is nobody. There's nobody here. I have the entire facility to myself today. So I'm gonna do some last minute shopping, put all of this stuff back into my cart, and gonna be on my way. So thank you for watching, thank you for joining me. Remember to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't subscribed already, or if you're new to the channel, just hit that subscribe button, because we have plenty more Yankee Candle content coming up, plus other candle fragrance related content and adventurous, yes, you heard me, adventurous content coming up as well. Once again, thanks again for watching, and I will be seeing you guys pretty soon. But until then, be good, will you?